Are you thinking of owning your dream homes? EJ Investment is here for you. Secure our quality bungalows with 2, 3 or 4 bedrooms, or our story buildings 3 or 4 to 5 bedrooms at very affordable prices with flexible payment plans at our Sanyang Seaview Estate, where you can enjoy the cool breeze with modern infrastructure such as tar roads, covered drainage system, modern electrification with street lights, gated entrance with security posts, and social amenities such as gas station, shopping mall, medical clinic, park, schools, children daycare, and a lot more. Our dedicated team of professionals will keep the estate clean at all times, provide security and patrol team within the estate premises, install latest technologies such as CCTV, Wi-Fi, home network installation, solar panel, and power backup system. Also, check out for our additional home facilities and interior design service such as premium tiling, wall plaster, home landscape, fingerprint home lock, and a lot more. Visit our office at Senegambia Kololi Highway and get a free site visit tour, or contact us on 4464838. WhatsApp us on 3259220. Or you can visit our Facebook page or Instagram on EJ Investments. EJ Investments, we are first in properties.
All right.
Honey, did you remind him that the last time he sent the money, it was not enough to buy all the provisions?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell him.
Are you guys talking about money transfer to buy provisions?
Yes.
But don't you know about Baloo?
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 What is Baloo?
Baloo is a service that your son can use to send provisions directly to you guys from the shop. And you don't have to worry about the exchange rate.
Tell me how Baloo works.
It's very simple.
Just log on to baluo.com and shop, or download the app on your phone. You can shop on the website or using the app to buy online basic products for your family and friends. With Baloo, you decide what your money is spent on. Your money, your choice. Buy online products for your family and friends in the Gambia, Senegal, Nigeria or Mali. Baloo, better than sending money.
Good morning, Honorable Minister for Tourism and Culture, Mr. Honorable Hamad Bah. Good morning, the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Tourism and Culture, Kodu Jabang Senghor. And good morning, Mr. Nyangjai, our new chairman for the National Organizing Committee for the International Roots Festival. And good morning, my Director General, National Center for Arts and Culture, Mr. Hasum Sise. And good morning, Mr. Dauda Nyang, the Director General, Gambia Tourism and Hospitality Institute. Good morning, members of the National Organizing Committee for the International Roots Festival, and the press, and my colleagues as well. Today is another important day for the Ministry of Tourism and Culture, the National Center for Arts and Culture, and and all the satellite institutions inclusive. That is the Gambia Tourism and Hospitality Institute and the Gambia Tourism Board, for taking the ministry taking this initiative to set up the organizing committee, the National Organizing Committee for the International Roots Festival, and to also inaugurate the International Roots Festival 2020, which will take place in December. In that way, it's a great pleasure to have the respective dignitaries and people who have been selected to come and do a national work, and take a national assignment on behalf of the ministry to organize from conceptualization all the way down to its implementation the Roots Festival. As you may be aware, now the Roots Festival is not only the Roots Community Festival of Jufure alone. The Roots Festival is a national brand. The International Roots Festival is a national brand, and it actually spreads from Banjul all the way down to Koina. And in that regard, it is a festival of gala festivals, which means festivals of different festivals that have different niche markets. Their niche markets are different, and each of these festivals is completely different, and it's being branded newly by the Ministry of Tourism and Culture as a festival that will benefit the whole country, from Banjul, North Bank, LRR, CRR, and URR. So basically, this is one of the grandeur that we have done. And without preempting the Director General's speech, I would like to invite the Director General, National Center for Arts and Culture, to elaborate more and show you what the new strategy and the new branding we have done with the International Roots Festival. On that note, I would like to invite Mr. Hassoum Cissé, DG NCAC. Thank you.
Honorable Minister, Department Secretary, Ministry of Tourism and Culture, I also wish to acknowledge the presence of the Chairman of the Board, National Center for Arts and Culture, Mr. Nyangjai, the incoming Chairman of the National Organizing Committee, also my brother, the Director General, the Gambia Tourism and Hospitality Institute, members of the NOC, here present, staff from the National Center for Arts and Culture, and members of the press. In 2017, I can remember when Honorable Minister came into office newly, he tasked us, at the National Center for Arts and Culture to work on reviving roots, but in a rebranded, fashion. That it should be rebranded. Roots as a festival should come back, but not in what like most of us knew it to be. That was, I can say, as early as June 2017. And just this morning, I was telling Mr. Nyangjai that it was at that meeting that I first had the Honorable Minister appreciate the work you are doing to promote Gambian tourism. I had him, tell my former boss, Baba, and GT board, I used to talk to this guy. He is doing a lot of, good work. That was, that I can remember in my diary. That was in June, 2017.
I didn't even know he was a man.
Yeah, you ask, yeah. It was Baba who told you that I know him. He's from. Yeah. Yes. So, as Mr. Njai, I'm happy that you have accepted this challenge. The Honorable Minister and the PS have very, very high regards for the work that you are doing at your own cost in your own corner. Some of us are more familiar, with your activism, but for them, they also see the great potential you have in promoting the Gambian product, arts and culture. For that, we want to pay homage and to say thank you very much. Now, coming back to the roots, my colleague Sir Omar has done a very short introductory video, how Honorable Minister wants the roots to be like. And this he didn't, impose on us, because in the summer, he organized the National Conference on Tourism and Culture. And there the PS asked us, to break into groups. And one of these groups was tasked, should roots come, how should it be like? And then over 3 days, the stakeholders, made their suggestions, and that was encapsulated into a report. Now, when the report was, handed over to the ministry, it was, put to us again, the line departments, and what we got out of it was sent to the PS, and it was what the minister has accepted to be the new format that roots should take. And last week he told me that the festival must have a national character. In fact, he asked me that I should talk to the chairman after the inauguration, how the word national can feature into the tagline. Okay? So maybe that's one difference that all of us will be seeing in the new look routes, that it will have a national character. Now, having said that also, Honorable Minister, I also want to recognize the fact that in the National Organizing Committee and in the Support Committee, and I'm sure in the subcommittees which the chairman will work with us, to bring out people from various and diverse talents have been featured, particularly our colleagues from the media. That also, I think, is something which is new this time around. That almost all the media houses are represented in the National Organizing Committee. I think that was also done deliberately, so as to maximize or even optimize the publicity that a festival like this should get. And on a final note, I also wish to state that even before Honorable Minister gave us the go-ahead to make the final, to complete the final details for this launching, some of the components of the festival, we've been engaged in sort of in an experimentation with some of the products that the festival will have. For example, just last week we had the Quinola Festival, which should be a component of the rebranded routes, and all the reports I received say it went well. And next week we'll be in Georgetown also for the Kankurang Festival there, which also is a component of the festival. So speaking in broad terms, I can say that even before the NOC is constituted to drive the preparations for the holding of the festival, some of the components are already been tested and tried, so that even when the NOC comes on board, they will give a review, give us new ideas, so as to augment the strength and the potential of these components. So I wish to thank again the chairman for accepting the challenge, because he knows more than I do that taking a challenge from Honorable Minister is a big challenge in itself. Because he's tireless, he will not allow you to relax, which is good, and also I'm sure the NOC and the subcommittees, will also take up the challenge. For us in the Secretariat, be rest assured that we will give you all the support that you will need to be able to carry out this task. Because, in fact, last Friday we had a board meeting, and the chairman reminded me of our role, the very, very important role that the NCAC will have to play in the success of this festival. So thank you very much for your attention.
And that we have set for the new rebranding of the International Roots Festival. And now I would take the privilege to take a short break in here, in between. But is it convenient, Abu, for them to turn around to see this 3 minutes video? This is the Janja Buret Kankurang Festival. It's a festival of masquerade. The various masquerade traditions of the Gambia are manifested and showcased in this festival. It is the festival where we show from Kumpo, hunting, all the masquerade traditions or cultures and heritages of the Gambia, whether Mandinka, Fula, Jola. But the principal one is the Kankuran. We feature the Kankuran by virtue of the UNESCO World Heritage Site there, which is the ICH Center in Janjambure. We take opportunity for that. And the Manding Initiatory Rites, that's their manhood passage. That is the festival that showcases it and shows all the various masquerade traditions of the Gambia. Next up. The next one is the Banjul Egere Night. That is the hunting tradition in Banjul. This also is a festival, sound, Abu Sound. This also is a festival, and actually it portrays the masking tradition of the Creole people, especially the Banjulians. And actually it spreads from the arch all the way down to Makati Square, where we have lined up all the masquerade traditions, or the hunting traditions in Banjul. And the second one is the Quinala Farantaba Cultural Festival in Quinala. And it's a festival of, the third one rather. The third one is the Quinala Farantaba Cultural Festival in Quinala. It's a festival that actually portrays our liberators, the heroes of the Gambia, the people who have fought against imperialism and also fight to establish Islam in the Gambia or in the Senegambia region. It also showcases how our heroes used to use jujus and how they use some of these cavalry horsemen to fight against the white, despite the guns, the arquebus of the British empires, how they fought to make sure that they are able to resist colonialism and establish also Islam, like the Fode Kabas, the Musa Molos, the
Farantamba.
Yeah, the Farantambas. We call them the Farantambas, which is the heroes of the Gambia. That festival basically showcases what they have achieved for us. And these are the 3 festivals so far that have been organized. And we are still left with the Basse. Programming that we have for the International Roots Festival is, it's starting with the carnival, which we have not produced yet, from Westfield, because in the first Roots Festival, that's what happened. We had a carnival all the way from Westfield to the Independence Stadium. And it works together with the floats, where companies sell their products, and then we have a big carnival. All the cultural manifestations take place. We have a big Rio de Janeiro kind of Calvary and parade from Westfield all the way down to the Independence Stadium for the official opening ceremony. Then in the evening, we have the Open Mic Festival, which is also connected to it, which will be a festival of young people for the contemporary musicians, so that we can have that also integrated. Then the second day, which would be, of course, hosted by BCC, that would be the Egere Night. The Egere Night will take place. Then we will man the boats, because we are trying to use advantage of the River Gambia, how we can explore the River Gambia to be able to navigate all the way from Banjul to Basse. And of course, we use the kind of a Ninki Nanka trail, how some of these communities, we can tap them, especially communities that have jetties and have good accommodation avenues to able to host at least 600 tourists in their respective areas. Then after the Egere Night, the next day we will sail, of course, to Jufure, where the pilgrimage will take place. From the pilgrimage in Jufure, we will, of course, have a day, and of course, there will be their festival. The manifestation will be coming about in 2 months' time, in which we will be showcasing what will happen in Jufure. But the parade will come to Jufure, and we will flow from Jufure down, we'll cross again to Farantamba in Quinala, where the accommodation and the residents would be provided at the Tenda Bar. The Farantamba festival would be the 3rd day or the 4th day. The 5th day would be in Janjambure. The boat will dock at Janjambure for the Kankurang festival, where we will have, of course, the Kankurang and then the Manding initiatory rites. And then the boat will leave from there for the 6th day to Basse, where we will have the Basse Traditional and Folklore Music Festival, where we have the yellas and then the traditional musicians of Basse and the neighborhood to be manifested. And the 7th day, when we come back, of course, to Banjul, will be the final day and the gala night to close the festival, which would be the 7th day. So basically, this is the concept that we have, and we are already trying to showcase most of this festival. And so far, all the 3 we have showcased so far, I think they all have gone good. And we are still working on the 3 festivals that have not been showcased yet. On that note, I would like to say thank you. And now I will invite the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Tourism and Culture, Kodu Jabang Senghor, to give the welcoming remarks. Thank you, Ko.
Honorable Minister of Tourism and Culture, the Chairman and members of the National Organizing Committee, National Roots Homecoming Festival 2020, the Director Generals and staff of the National Center for Arts and Culture, and the Gambia Tourism and Hospitality Institute, media representatives in our midst, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my honor and pleasure to welcome you here to this simple but very momentous gathering intended to install our newly constituted National Organizing Committee for the impending Roots Homecoming Festival, scheduled to take place in December 2020. In welcoming the NOC members, particularly the new members, into the tourism family, I would like to extend the Honorable Minister's appreciation for your acceptance to serve in the committee. We are indeed very thankful to you. Mr. Chairman, the tasks and responsibilities of the committee, you will agree with me, are quite substantial and extensive, with clearly laid out goals and objectives. The festival is projected to eloquently showcase the extraordinary and rich cultural heritage of our Gambian people, thereby promoting our country as a cultural tourist destination and boosting business and investment in our expanding economy. But the festival, as you know, has a wider scope, a Pan-African and global dimension. It is also expected to articulate the shared heritage and traditions of the African person across the world, whilst also seeking to elucidate our continent's considerable input to global civilization. The first Roots Festival since the dawn of the New Gambia must be the best and most successful Roots Festival of all times. The Ministry believes the forthcoming 2020 festival cannot be anything else but a resounding success story. We have not only learned a series of lessons from the performance of past Roots festivals, but have also benefited from wide consultations with internal and external stakeholders, leading to the new look, innovative 2020 festival that we hope to unveil with the support of this new committee. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to be part of this historical event, grateful to the committee members for coming on board, wish them all the best as they embark on their noble duty. I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide all your deliberations. I thank you all for your attention.
When I saw the invitation, I was really impressed because festivals are key in the product offering of any destination, and the Gambia is no exception. A few weeks ago, I attended the International Congress for International Hotel Schools, like schools from all over the world, and people were asking me, where you're from? When you're like, I'm from the Gambia, they still like, where's the Gambia? And then they went on and said, tell me your food, tell me your music, tell me your festival. So these three things were key. And the moment I mentioned roots, they're like, River Gambia, the Gambia. So it was easy to make the connection. I know a lot of efforts is being made to promote and market the Gambia, but hosting festivals like this will just, give us another advantage into making the Gambia the destination we want it to be. I also like the idea of getting people from different sectors into the organizing committee, the private sector, because it will widen the scope of the vision on the way we want to promote the Homecoming Roots Festival. I will just end by saying for festivals to work, in my little experience, we have to take ownership as Gambians. See, you cannot stage a festival and expect people from the sub-region or the diaspora to make it work. Just like we're doing now, we have to take ownership and make sure it works so that the outsiders can embrace it. As I said, I'm not going to be long. I'm going to make it short. I wish my brother Daddy all the best in this new position as NOC. I know he has a vision. He believes in culture. So I believe we will take it to another level. On that note, I thank you all.
And now I have the singular honor to announce the names of the organizing committee.
Propose he may call up any other person he or she wish to.
Thank you, Honorable. Yes, this was the tentative appointment that the Honorable Minister for Tourism and Culture had done. And but as he said, the chairman would cope as he wishes other members to join still the committee.
In consultation with the minister.
In consultation with the minister. That's very clear, yes. Yeah. Of course, in consultation with the minister. So the names are Mr. Nyang Njai, that is Sahel Knowledge Campus. Kodu El Jabang Senghor, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Tourism and Culture. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs. The Director General, National Center for Arts and Culture, Mr. Hasum Sise. The Director General, Gambia Tourism Board, Mr. Abdullahi Haidara. The Director General, Gambia Tourism and Hospitality Institute, Mr. Dauda Nyang. The Chairman, Gambia Hotel Association. The Chairman, Ground Tour Operators. The Commander of Joint Operation Command under the Inspector General of Police. The Managing Director, Gambia Ports Authority. The Director General, Gambia Radio and Television Services, Abdul Toure. And the Secretariat and Coordinator, myself, Sheikh Omar Jallo. And the general membership actually consists of Mr. Sheikh Tijan Nyang, ITOG, that's Institute for Travel and Tourism of the Gambia. The CEO, Mr. Seka, for ASAT, that is Association of Small Scale Enterprise in Responsible Tourism. The Chairman, Banjul Cultural Committee. The Chairman, Jufure Albreda Youth Society, the chairman, Quinala Cultural Committee, the chairman, Jangjambure Cultural Committee, the chairman, Basse Cultural Committee, and representative for the diaspora, Malik Manga Jr., representative for the diaspora community female, Fatoumata Balde, Mr. Amadou Toure, a veteran NOC member, the managing director, QTV, the managing director, Star TV, the managing director, Kerr Fatou, and 2 co-opted members that the minister just gave to me today. And we'll be sending their appointment letters latest tomorrow. That will be Janet Bajan Young for Ebunjang Theatre and Okudrame Sotokoto Ban or promoter. Basically, these are the organizing committees so far appointed by the minister. And on that note, I would like to invite the chairman of the organizing committee to make a statement. Mr. Nyangjai, the floor is yours.
Good morning, Chairman NCAC, and good morning to the Director General, Gambia Hospitality Training Institute, and a warm good morning to everyone on the floor. I think duty and honor is sacrosanct, and it is something that every patriot should be mindful of. And whenever country calls, I think one needs to find time to give back to country. And it is in that vein that I humbly accept the appointment to be the chairman of this very important committee that will make sure that Gambia is properly positioned, well branded, and ready to host an international festival that will rival the likes of Rio, Trinidad and Tobago, Notting Hill Carnival, and others around the world. Gambia has a very good product, and the product has very good subsets. And we have seen some of these subsets earlier on display through the multimedia videography shown by the gentleman from NCAC. What we have lacked is the ability to synchronize, harmonize, and bring everything together in a package and make sure that it is in conformity with branding standards so that brand Gambia will come out and be very prominent and visible in what we're trying to achieve. Culture is the embodiment of people, our foods, our culture, our music, our traditions. This is what the world oversells. Jamaica sells their music, and music has become one of Jamaica's biggest exports. Gambia can sell, albeit a horrendous past, slavery, to the world. And once we package and sell it, I think the brand visibility of brand Gambia will be foremost in the world. We have seen what Ghana is doing, but Gambia is more prominent in slavery than Ghana. But the only reason Ghana is making it, it's organization, and when I say organization, a deliberate attempt to position brand Ghana. And Benin is knocking the doors, trying to do the same that Ghana is doing. Senegal has been doing it, and they have been free riding on our goodwill. Therefore, the time has come. And since the Madam Permanent Secretary said, 2020, New Gambia, we need a dawn of a new festival. And this festival should be more than pomp and pageantry. But in the back of our minds, we should have a deliberate effort to position brand Gambia internationally and in relevant markets. There's one thing putting brand Gambia internationally, but deliberately putting it in markets that are relevant to the product offering we want to give to the world. On that note, like I said, I humbly accept this task, and I love challenges. Though stubborn, I'm a team player. Though stubborn, I am an iconoclast. I don't believe to operate in the box. I love to operate out of the box. And it's radicalism. When I say radicalism, ideas that are not what we're used to, but a shift in paradigm, that's going to take Gambia to where it needs to be. We need to dream. We need to dare dream and dream big. When you dream big, you may not fall where you want to fall, but you may not fall too far from where you want to go. And that has been something that has been a shortfall for the Gambian. We're scared to dream, and we're scared to think big. Well, the time has come. It's a new Gambia, a new dawn, and the new Gambian should be bold enough to say, we're going to do great things because we're capable of doing great things. We're doing great things for people all over the world. It's time we start helping ourselves. So on that note, I'll say once again, thank you, everyone, and we will work together, and in working together, we will achieve a common objective of positioning Brand Gambia, of making sure that Brand Gambia is visible, of making sure that we preserve our culture and heritage. And I will also remind the government that we now need to put our monies where our mouths are. When you say International Roots Homecoming Festival, there is an anchor. The anchor is Jufure and Kunta Kinte Island. We need to put some money there. I just visited those ruins, and I believe the government needs to put their monies where their mouths are. Then the world will take us seriously. Thank you.
The National Organizing Committee of the Roots Homecoming International Festival, the officials of both the NCAC and the GTHI, and very specially our committee members of the organizing committee who are already here. But I must single out my friend, the Honorable Member for Basek constituency, Honorable Magasi, for having been very prominent in the field of culture. Known him for a long time, and I've certainly appreciated himself and Sidi Ajata, the wonderful job they've been doing and promoting the issue of culture. And of course, we will not forget our dear friend, Mr. Modi Diouf, who has also been working very hard in really reaching to where we are. And of course, my good friends, sometimes, that's the media. We really appreciate their coming. I mean, the fact that we're able to choose 3 media houses to be part of this, I think the selection was done very carefully, looking at all the ingredients. We felt that, yes, media houses exist, but they are a balanced one, who when they insult us here, they praise us there. And when they criticize us here, they also acknowledge our achievements. And I think it was not a mistake to have chosen the Star FM, Kerr, Fatou, the QTV, and GRTS to be members, because we believe that we need the criticisms, we need some of those objections sometimes, because we are human. And then, of course, when we also make an achievement, it's important that you really mention, you talk about the achievement. And I think it was a careful judgment. There are many of them in the country. Notwithstanding, we are not saying everybody is against us. But I'm just saying that we felt that there are other balanced ones, but these are the ones that caught our eyes, rather, as I say it. So I also thank them in that great endeavor. My Deputy Permanent Secretary, who is also behind the scene, been supporting my Permanent Secretary in getting to where we are. So he will be sitting very often as possible in your committee, because of the busy schedule of the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, because he has to see over 3 different institutes plus the government activities. So I'm sure that the DPS would be prominent in the committee's work and deliberation. And of course, we also have a new information officer in our ministry by the name of Mrs. Ngom. She will be the media. She needs to acquaint herself and be liaising with them, so that we want government activities be made known to the people. Therefore, every ministry must have a media personnel that the media can contact, that the media can liaise with so that they can get information on a daily basis, so that the trouble of looking for appointments will be over. And that's why we felt that really key ministries, almost all the ministries, should have media officers that media houses can liaise and then can disseminate information and also can receive information. So, Mrs. Ngom, you are welcome to the new way of life, product, not so easy. Thank you, and I'm sure you will be introducing yourself to your colleagues so that in due course they would not find it difficult to get in touch with you. I have a prepared statement, as everybody knows. It was a trouble for the tourism minister to read from a prepared statement. But I will endeavor. I will try my best. Not so easy, but I will try. After all, I wish to begin my statement with a gentle reminder of the origins of the National Roots Homecoming Festival. When the book Roots by African-American writer Alex Haley came out in 1976, the Gambia was put on the spotlight, largely because the story was partly set in the Gambia with Gambian villages like Jufre, Albreda, recurring in the storyline. Although some effort was made in 1977 to cast in on this sudden shot to fame, it is largely accepted today that it was almost a missed opportunity for Gambian tourism. After the army seized power in July 1994, a flood of travel advice almost decimated the Gambian tourism industry. The few inroads made in boosting the sector were in disarray. British tourists left the Gambia in droves, so did other European visitors. The junta needed to alleviate this tragedy soonest. Unable to recover British cooperation, the junta were so pleased to hear of the idea of tapping visitors from North America. Thus, when the idea of Root Festival was mooted by the NCAC, the junta cabinet bought it, hook, like, and sinker. Sadly, this one also became a missed opportunity as sooner than the Roots Festival began as a biannual event, then it was hijacked and removed from Roots' home of Jufre and taken elsewhere. Indeed, by the time the last edition was held in 2016, Root Festival was a mere showdown of what it was meant to be and could have been. This is why, since we assumed office, we had been working hard to reorient the festival and make it have a national outlook and character. The past 3 years, therefore, have not been lost. Have been lost, as a matter of fact. It was well utilized to reframe the scope, nature, funding, and organizational structure of the festival. Let me just elaborate on this. To be honest with you, when we came in, we found that the Roots Festival was more of a canalizo and not a national character issue. It was not reflecting the true nature of Gambian culture. And we felt that really, as a government, we cannot go into that. We need to give it a new look, a look that Gambians will be part of it. Every sector of this country must be part of. And then a look there, the people themselves will own it, and not government driving it, but government initiating it, but allowing the people, particularly the private sector, the Gambian themselves to drive this issue of this festival. I have been to many festivals in the world, but I have seen how they are organized. And I believe that if we had continued the previous system, we would get to this country nowhere. We would have just been wasting state funds for nothing. More of a jamboree of people coming, staying in hotels and attending banquets. We want it to be more productive, to reflect the national character of this country, the culture of who we are, demonstrate to the world what we are, and then really make a difference. And that's why we felt government will come to set the tune, but you have to really make sure that it happens. Just to explain that. And that's why we decided the last year we need to really make a study and see how best we can work it out and make it happen. Just for your information. In the last summer, my ministry hosted a national conference on tourism and culture where the stakeholders present were unanimous that the Root Festival should be revived, although with a new face. My team have carefully gone through the various suggestions made at the conference regarding roots as a festival and have taken abroad many of them. First, we have made the National Organizing Committee smaller to make it more robust. The NOC will now be like a core team, and it can expand by co-opting other players in the various subcommittees that the NOC will create to help it organize the festival in December 2020. Indeed, the duty and task of this NOC I am inaugurating this morning are to help my ministry organize the National Roots Homecoming Festival in December 2020. This edition of festival will have a new look and reorientation and spread to all the quarters of the country, including Jufre. However, basically, the aims and objectives of the festival remain the same, namely, to reunite people of African descent with African while promoting the Gambia and her culture, her cultural, historical, and traditional values. To further encourage cultural tourism and investment in Gambia in particular, and Africa in general. To forge closer ties between the Gambia and Pan-African people for meaningful mutual cooperation and development. To promote, enhance, and encourage African unity among Africans in the diaspora and Africa. To establish the truth about the history of Africa and the experience of its people using the vehicle of African arts, culture, music, and dance. To reaffirm the common heritage of African people the world over and define Africa's contribution to the world civilization. To promote the Gambia as a cultural tourist destination in the Americas, the Caribbean island, and Europe. To further encourage trade and investment in the Gambia's growing economy. To preserve, promote, and develop those aspects of Gambian cultural heritage that enhance cultural identity and foster national economic and social advancement. To provide the basis of establishment of an African Diaspora Heritage Center in Jufre, the quintessential home of African diaspora as a personified in Kunta Kinte, the forefather of the late African-American writer, biographer, and historian Alex Haley. To celebrate the rich, diverse, yet homogeneous cultural heritage of the Gambia in particular, and the West African sub-region generally. The NOC consists of people mostly drawn from the past organizing committee who have demonstrated strong and unwavering commitment to duty in previous festival assignment, though with some new members added. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to implore the new NOC to work hard towards achieving their mission. I wish to add that they must not allow some of the challenges which affected previous NOCs to befall them. All hands must be on deck as the festival falls squarely within the brackets of the National Development Plan of the Gambia government of His Excellency President Adama Barrow of using culture for growth through tourism and forging a national identity. I wish to assure the chairman and his committee that our ministry will give full support to all their activities, working on raising funds from government. But Mr. Chairman, your committee will still need to augment whatever you will have through fundraising activities and partnership. I want to thank you all for your active support and for agreeing to honor the invitation to serve the country in this capacity. On this note, before I finally, let me just make one statement very clear. The Permanent Secretary allocated funds for this in the budget 2019. That money, part of it is with the NCAC. Director General, I need to be corrected on this. And I want you to use the resources that are available to get this committee to work hard to make sure we achieve our objective. The Permanent Secretary have also injected a lot of funds for 2020 also on this committee to make sure that those funds are utilized for this purpose. We want to make this thing to be the biggest gathering of the Adama Barrow regime since its inauguration. We plan to invite head of states to attend the inauguration of this festival. We plan to invite African cultural tourism ministers to attend this opening ceremony of this festival. We want it to be the biggest festival in the country ever in the history of the Gambia. Therefore, we need to really get what we have experienced. I witnessed the one in Le Côte d'Ivoire, and I'm trying to access the recordings of that festival. And I hope that the NOC will make good use of that once we get it, or we will delegate the chairman or whoever to go to Côte d'Ivoire and make a study tour, and many other countries. We want it to be one of the most successful events ever to be held in this country. So therefore, funds should not be a problem. Government is committed, and government will do what it takes. I've heard the comment of the chairman about the issue of Jouvre. I said yesterday, I think my permanent secretary have dispatched the letter. We have been working on the issue of the jetty, and all of a sudden I saw it in the press this morning too. As we discussed it last week and this week, it's already in the press, so I don't know. So it shows that, we are also not sleeping. Whilst people are talking here, we are acting. We want this jetty to be done as quickly as possible, and efforts are already on the way to make sure that we put our money where our mouths are, as the chairman have said. So we will work towards that. You see, because these are the small things that you need to do. In 2001, I'll give you a story. I was in Ghana, and I was hosted by one of the ministers, and we were at a dinner, and we saw something on television. The press went to a dormitory of one of the most famous universities that African students have been attending in Ghana. And then the media portrayed the bad nature of that institute, the dormitories, how dirty it was, how bad the place was. They say the media portrayed everything and documented it was on television. When government saw this, next 24 hours, the place was closed, refurbished, fully rebuilt, and done brand new. That's the essence of the media. Without the media, you think anybody would have discovered that? People would have been suffering there, and then nobody would have noticed. People would have just been complaining. But when it was on television, the next day it was, within 6 months, the place was refurbished and rebuilt. So I'm this one also, the press came with it this morning in the press, but we've been working the last 3 weeks on this issue to see how best we can get this matter addressed. So I want you people to really, the NCAC particularly, to do what it takes to work together with these people, make the resources available, and let them do their job. And go where you want to go, reach out to whoever you want to reach out. Let's make it a successful event. And as in my statement, we would try to see where best we can raise the funds, if possible. But I don't want us to be turned into a begging agency, as it used to be in the previous really organizing committee, asking everybody money. I just want us to show that as a government we are committed and we'll put money into it. But yet still we cannot do it on our own. But if you feel we can raise funds, or we can organize gala dinners, we can organize huge events to raise money, I'm sure the chairman of the NCAC will be on board to support, and the Director General and the Permanent Secretary for that matter. So it's important that we take note of the fact that it's not going to be an easy task. But government certainly should do what it takes to make sure that really we make the funds available. And then help them to succeed in their endeavors. Before I conclude, the chairman, Mr. Nyang Jai, I've not known Nyang. I was just reading about the guy in the newspapers, his contribution, and I'm not a newspaper reader too. But when I see articles that attracts me sometimes, particularly when it comes to culture, marketing, I try to read financial articles and all that. That's one of the things that really interests me most. So when I go through the papers, I read about Mr. Nyang. On 2-3 occasions, I became very attracted, and I tried to inquire about him. And I said, I want to meet this gentleman, because I think he has the knowledge and the ideas. They are the type of people we are looking for. This government is open to people of balanced mind and opinion who have the knowledge to serve. You understand? I said, I'm looking for this gentleman. Let me try to get to him. I never saw him until we met at Kerr Fatou. That was the first day I said, you are Nyang Jai? He said, yes, I am Nyang Jai. I said, I want to see you, because I am very impressed with what you are doing. And to tell you the truth, I listened to him over the West Coast radio, am I right? And when I listened to his deliberations, he's very balanced. When you want to say something that is not correct, even again, he will say, no, that's wrong. It is not government. And he tells the truth. When it is government, he tells you it's government. I mean, these are the balance of opinion that we need in the new Gambia. You understand? But we don't need people who are extremely negative or people who do not want to recognize any good thing that we are doing. We want to recognize what we are doing, but where we are wrong, please, don't hesitate to tell us. But don't insult my mother. My mother don't deserve to be insulted. Nor do I deserve to be on my family. But talk about my professional life and what I'm doing if I'm doing it wrong. I think that's why most people don't want to be in government now, because they felt that they have been abused. Their families are abused. You want to appoint somebody a minister, you say, I don't want to be a minister. You are exposing my family. You are exposing me. I'm not interested of taking that job. I don't think we should reach that level in the new Gambia. We should really limit ourselves to our professional life and activities. And I think that's what the law mandates us to do. And you don't have to also go on witch hunting people. But let's have a balanced opinion. Speak your mind with respect, and people will respect you for that. And I think every Gambian respects Nyang Jai for speaking his mind and the knowledge he's got and the ability to be able to communicate with people and send this message across. And I think that motivated us. There were a lot of people, they were listed. But all of us, virtually, it was not difficult for my permanent secretary to convince me that this will be the best chairman for the NOC. That he has the interest at heart to make sure that he promote the Gambia at every level. So please, don't talk about Nyang Jai's private life to me or what he does privately after work. I'm not interested about that. I'm interested when Nyang is doing his job, how he does his job, what Nyang is doing, how much he's serving his country. And for me, and his political affiliation also, I'm not interested. If Nyang wants to be, he can be in anywhere he wants to be. That's not our business as a government. Our business is people who have the interest of this country, who are knowledgeable, who want to serve, who want to deliver for the national good. And I think members of this committee have been carefully chosen with this criteria at the back of our mind. And I have no doubt that under Hashim Sise, all of you and the permanent secretary and her staff, you will deliver, and you will deliver a fantastic Root Homecoming Festival in 2020. I want to thank you all for your active support and for agreeing to honor the invitation to serve the country in this capacity. On this note, I am delighted to declare launch the National Organizing Committee for Roots 2020. Thank you all.
Of owning your dream homes, EJ Investment is here for you. Secure our quality bungalows with 2, 3, or 4 bedrooms, or our story buildings 3 or 4 to 5 bedrooms at very affordable prices with flexible payment plans at our Sanyang Seaview Estate, where you can enjoy the cool breeze with modern infrastructure such as tar roads, covered drainage system, modern electrification with street lights, gated entrance with security posts, and social amenities such as gas station, shopping mall, medical clinic, park, schools, children daycare, and a lot more. Our dedicated team of professionals will keep the estate clean at all times, provide security and patrol team within the estate premises, install latest technologies such as CCTV, Wi-Fi, home network installation, solar panel, and power backup system. Also, check out for our additional home facilities and interior design service such as premium tiling, wall plaster, home landscape, fingerprint home lock, and a lot more. Visit our office at Senegambia Kololi Highway and get a free site visit tour, or contact us on 4464-838. WhatsApp us on 3259-220. Or you can visit our Facebook page or Instagram on EJ Investments. EJ Investments, we are first in properties.
Honey, did you remind him that the last time he sent the money, it was not enough to buy all the provisions?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell him.
Are you guys talking about money transfer to buy provisions?
Yes.
But don't you know about Baloo?
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 What is Baloo?
Baloo is a service that your son can use to send provisions directly to you guys from the shop. And you don't have to worry about the exchange rate.
Tell me how Baloo works.
It's very simple.
Just log on to baloo.com and shop, or download the app on your phone. You can shop on the website or using the app to buy online basic products for your family and friends. With Baloo, you decide what your money is spent on. Your money, your choice. Buy online products for your family and friends in the Gambia, Senegal, Nigeria or Mali. Baloo, better than sending money.